don't know whether you can see it, in the middle, there's a spurter. Every so often it just spurts water rather than continuously.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Life on Board AmyJo. And with Amy's wedding now past and everything sorted out, Chris and I find ourselves with some free time on our hands, so we decided we'd go on another mini cruise.
So this trip takes us from Tattenhall Marina through to Nantwich, but en route, after going through the locks, we stopped at the cheese factory overnight, and then we started with a lovely hearty English breakfast for the following day. Yeah, that's it. Yes, they did, thank you very much.
At the first lock, Chris received a call from a member of the family who wanted to know how we got on after the wedding, and Chris, being Chris, proved that she can multitask and was working the lock while talking to Jenny on the phone.
No, the money went in well before the wedding, because, yeah, and the towels are lovely as well, that you got them. Yeah, no.
You might think, being on the phone, that Chris was distracted and her mind wasn't on working on the lock. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. Chris is always aware of what's going on around her and has always got her eyes where they need to be. And the next lock on our list today is Iron Lock, and we've told you all about this lock in previous vlogs. It's a single boat lock nowadays because the walls are bowed, and you're liable to get stuck as the lock fills, but we're only on our own today, so it doesn't really matter. Chris is right on the ball today, look at that. Well, that's iron lock done. And this bit always reminds me of Teletubby. The mounds of grass at Teletubby TV series in the UK it was.
Teletubbies. Teletubbies. Say hello.
And just ahead is the sister lock to iron lock. This is Stone Lock, or Beeston Stone Lock to give it its full name. We're now at my favourite lock of this stretch. This is Tilston Lock. It's probably one of the prettiest, I think, on this stretch. It's got some beautiful gardens and houses here. Really pretty. Of course, the one downside of this area is the lack of internet. It's very poor to nothing. So the live feed doesn't work very well here till we get past Bunbury, and then it starts picking up again. But the weather is glorious, although there are some clouds turning up, but for now it's quite pleasant. It's not too hot, not too cold, and it's a beautiful area, so we're really enjoying this cruise. Now waiting our turn to go up Bunbury locks. Chris is turning the bottom lock because a boat has literally just gone through the locks. They obviously didn't check that there was a boat behind them, but hey ho, they probably weren't aware we were here anyway. Which means the lock's almost set for us. It's just the bottom lock that needs setting, and the top lock will be full anyway because the boat's just gone up, so it shouldn't take us too long to get through here. But it is looking mighty black over at Barbridge way. Somebody's getting a dosing. Well, that's Bunbury locks done without a hitch. It went quite smoothly, and just as we shut the gates and got underway, a boat came round the corner. That's a bit unfortunate, but there we go. So now we're lock free for a bit, and it's just that straight run down through Calverley to Hurlston Junction. I'm not sure we're going to make that today. We might stop at the cheese factory, and the reason being, one of our subscribers and an American vlogger who used to do the narrowboat reviews, Jack Bayer, is at the cheese factory as we speak, so we're hoping to tie up with him. So we may stop there for the night. It's not far from Barbridge actually, so it's almost the full distance. If I change of plan, we've moored up at Calverley by the cheese factory just for tonight. Only the weather is closing in. Those clouds look really ominous, and I think if we stayed put we'd be in for a bit of a drenching, so we decided to stay here for tonight. It's not far to Barbridge from here, so, and we can have a breakfast in the morning. We've just had a really heavy downpour, and consequently the temperatures are starting to drop, and there is a mist forming on the canal. I don't know if the camera's picking it up very well, but
So, as well as having a lovely breakfast in the cheese shop, it's fascinating to look round. There's all sorts of little gifts. There's hats, there's handbags, there's purses. Alongside, being a boater, you can get sort of your bread, milk, ham, and an abundance of cheese, as you can see in the fridges across the wall. The whole wall is taken up with cheese.
rather sumptuous breakfast in the cheese factory. We're now underway, and we're making our way to Nantwich today if we can, hopefully. It's a little bit cloudy this morning, but it's dry, and you'll notice I've had to dig a warm coat out. It's surprisingly chilly this morning. It's now about 11:15. Obviously we're late because of having the breakfast, but it's still quite chilly, so we're making the most of it. And we're now on that very long straight stretch that parallels the A51 and takes us down to Barbridge. Now, we were going to stop there yesterday, but we decided against it. So we'll be going through Barbridge today and on to Nantwich, because Nantwich is only an hour after Barbridge. So not too bad today. We've just come through Barbridge Junction, which I didn't film because you've seen it before on previous vlogs, but this is another popular pub with the boaters. This is the Barbridge Inn, and I can recommend the food in here. Very popular. And as you can see by the moorings, it can get quite busy. Considering we're now at the height of the cruising time, the moorings are still quite busy. It's got a great beer garden outside. Well worth a stop if you're coming this way. As Chris was down below making a cup of tea, Smudge had to step up and become my lookout. And being first mate of the boat, of course, he's always up on the hatch there watching where we're going and keeping an eye out for obstructions in front of the boat. Passing Tilston locks, which for those of you that have seen our travels in the past will know that is the start of the Llangollen canal, and it heads up to Llangollen, hence where it gets its name from. There you go, Catherine. There's even a boat named after your favourite dog.
That was an unexpected delay. They were dredging under the bridge in Nantwich, so we just moored up against Llangollen, the coffee boat, and had a great chat, as boaters do. And now they've just moved out the way and allowing us to come through.
Well, we've made it to Nantwich, and we're just about to cross the Nantwich Aqueduct, which all vloggers vlog about and video. But the problem we've got today is Nantwich is becoming so popular with boaters now that it's getting more and more difficult even to find a mooring here. We've just come down from the services as you come into Nantwich, and it's packed there, no mooring spaces whatsoever. And now here by the aqueduct, it's chocker with boats here, so we'll just have to see what we can find. True to form, just as we were mooring up, it started raining, so we've timed it absolutely perfectly. But as you can see, we were really lucky to get a mooring spot. As we rounded the corner, there was an Anglo-Welsh hire boat here, and the two of us, the boat that was following us as well, we've both managed to squeeze in. But I have never known Nantwich to be as rammed as this. It's normally busy here, but never this busy. So there we are, us for a few days now. Now here's a question. We're on the outskirts of Nantwich, and we've come across these steps to nowhere. But can you guess what they're for? Well, they're actually steps for the gentry to get up onto their horses. And they're still there today. Had a lovely walk into town, and we've come back to find AmyJo absolutely covered in swarms of flies. We've no idea why. We're not the only boat either, but we seem to be worse than everybody else, so we're just going to find another mooring spot a bit further away from this corner. We're going to wind and go back again and see if we can get moored up the other side of the aqueduct. We've got to stop here because we've got a shopping order waiting for us at 4 o'clock, so we may have to keep cruising up and down until till then. At this rate, we'll see if we can get a mooring further back. So we're going to wind and then head back. While we were in Nantwich, we had a visit for some friends of ours, Jenny and Fred, who live down south but come up to Cheshire every year to visit family. And whilst they were up here, they came to visit us. It was lovely to meet up with them again, and they spent the whole afternoon with us. Have a stowaway on board, if I can get him to come out. Come on, fella, where are you? He's disappeared. Where you gone, matey? There he goes. There he is. Got him.